Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy and Ninjas190, and today I will be reviewing yet another one of my old Bionicle sets for you guys today, and that is the Lego Bionicle Toa Mata Kopaka Toa of Ice. And I got some things to say about him, so let's get things started. And now, starting things off with the canister for the original Toa Mata Kopaka Toa of Ice here. As we can see, he is in a snowy environment because he is the Toa of Ice. He's going to be in the snow, which I assume he's in the tundra, snowy mountains of Kokoro. We can see the glaciers all behind him. Kokoro would be the village of snow and ice that the Toa of Ice, like Kopaka here, would defend and protect against outside threats. And of course, this was part of the old Lego Technics line, which eventually they got rid of the Technics branding and just kept Bionicle later on. And of course, we do see the Lego logo right there, and this is ages 7 and up, and there's set or figure is comprised of 33 pieces. It really doesn't look like it, but yeah, it is, because there's some like smaller axle rod pins and like some little axle clips you have to put on this figure, but that's why. And of course, we have the Bionicle logo right there. We have the name of the figure or name of the character, Kopaka, right there. Kopaka. And of course, we have the Bionicle website written right there, which is no longer online. So, yeah, that's a bummer. But anyway, we have Kopaka coming halfway out of the canister, which I will soon be taking him out of the canister. And we have the little side display showing you how like the 6 canisters washed ashore on the island of Matanui, and then out popped the original Toa, so on and so forth. And we have the same thing that we have on all the rest of the canisters, starting with Kopaka with this one. Right here, they would have like the codes for the mask, like you would put it in on the website, or I think it was like the PC game or something like that. I never had the PC game because I didn't really have a PC back in the day. But anyway, we're showing all the different Toa on the sides. So yeah, which I will be reviewing more of them pretty soon. So yeah, let's open him up and get him out of his canister. So open them up here, showing you guys the top of the canister, and each canister top does have a different color code. So this one is more of like a sort of like a white, so like a lighter silver, sort of like a light, like sort of like a really like whitish cloudy gray color, indicating that this is the Toa of Ice. So yeah, don't get your tops mixed up. So yeah, let's get the Kopaka out of his canister. So I did have to take him apart a little bit to fit him back in his canister, but something getting his head back on, putting his Kanui Ikaku mask on, the mask of ice, and also X-ray vision. And we can put that on, and then put his other sword arm on. So yeah. So basically, now we have them together. It is obvious Kopaka's elemental power is over ice, of course. So he's kind of sort of like Sub-Zero, where he can freeze his enemies, sort of like that. And of course, he has the power of X-ray vision, and he can also use the scope on the Ikaku mask of ice, or X-ray ice and X-ray vision, sort of like a telescope as well. So he can zoom in on his enemies. It can and he can snipe them with an ice blast as well from his sword, of course. So yeah, there's That, and I always thought this was like one of the coolest looking of the original Toa, to be honest. Now, now of course, he does have sort of like a skeleton-like appearance because the way the body is made and the whole colorization of him. But I still think he looks like the coolest. Um, um, but anyway, where you can actually really tell like this is, you know, actual like Lego, beside where like you wouldn't tell otherwise by looking at like all like the Technic pieces is by looking at his snow shield here, and you can see the Lego brick connectors up there. So yeah, those are, yeah, you can see the Lego logos in there. So yeah, that's how you can tell this is Lego. But like I said, I mentioned before, this is not a Lego channel. I really don't pick up Lego sets regularly, if not at all. The Bionicle is like the only thing from Lego that really appealed to me. So yeah, that's why. I mean, I did like buy like maybe like one or two like brick sets back in the day, but it just really wasn't my thing. I was always a Bionicle person, so that's why. But anyway, getting a look at this figure, we can see his color scheme is mostly white, matching that of snow because he is the Toa of ice, of course. And you can see his arms and legs are sort of like this light gray colorization, sort of similar to the top of his canister. But yeah, the canister is like more of a top of the canister is like more of a chrome color. But anyway, we do have the one piece of armor that the original Toa Mata have, is this little chest orb in the middle of their torso, while most of them have. I know Gali has like the little ball joint connectors in the middle of her chest, but anyway, yeah. Articulation wise, we do have the play feature with the gear function, so we can slash his ice sword like so and go all crazy with it. Yeah. So let's see if we can knock over his canister. So yeah, not his head. Oh, yep, there we go. So we can do that if we want to. Now his other arm does not move unless we put like another gear in there. So we can remove this piece and put another gear in there. It was kind of pointless because this is his shield. Now like I said, we don't have a whole lot of articulation here because of the axle rod connector piece. So yeah, we can only like move his arm like up and down like this, and like forward and back slightly. We do have good wrist articulation though, so we can like move this hand like in and out to use his shield, and we can rotate that wrist all the way around if we want to. And of course we can do a little, we can kind of start to do a little spinneroonie with a shield. So we do have that. So yeah, we really don't have. And there goes his mask. Yeah, you gotta keep that mask on, buddy. Or you gotta start losing powers. But anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much how the arms articulate. And we have the sword arm here, which is just basically you just plug his sword right on in, like so. And like I said, we do have articulation. We can move it with the gears, but yeah, we can also, move it like this. So we can move it like all the way up, like so. We can put them in a T-pose if we want to, and we can bring that arm back down, and we can bring it all the way across like so. So if we want to slash his enemies like that, we can. But anyway, getting down to leg articulation, still as the same like the arms. Leg articulation is very limited because of the way these piece together because of the old original Toa builds. But that's something that they've definitely improved on over the years, especially from going like from the original Toa Mata builds to the Toa Metro builds, and so on and so forth. It just got better and better. although we did lose gear function along the way, but it just articulation got better. But anyway, like articulation, the legs can only move forward and back slightly, so much. So that's it. I mean, we can rotate all the way around, like so. If we want to, we can kick out to the side, like so, and then back down. Same is true with the other leg, and then back down. And we can point the feet forward if we want to, and then point them up, like so, and then rotate them all the way around a full 360. And yeah, that pretty much concludes it for articulation with this figure. Now, his mask, to explain his mask powers here, this is the mask of Kanohi, mask of the Ikaku, the Kanohi mask of ice and x-ray vision. So basically, what this mask does is allows him to see through walls and see through his enemies and stuff like that. And also, you know, he can also use it like a telescope and sort of like a sniper rifle. So if he wants to sort of like zoom in on his enemies and snipe them with an ice blast from like way up high or something like that, or where like he can see his enemies and they can't see him, he can still do that with with the Kanohi Ikaku mask, of course. So yeah, that pretty much explains his powers. He is the protector of Kokoro, which is the village of snow and ice from the Bionicle universe. To really get a good sense of the like for new fans, there is Bionicle movies, but it really starts like with the Toa Nuva and everything. But if you really want to go like way back, you really have to get into the comic books, but you have to be part of the Lego Club to get. But anyway, I do remember back in the day, Bionicle was heavily, pushed on Toonami, which got me into it. I always thought they were cool ever since I've seen those old ads, and I remember they had like different events on like when they had the Cartoon Network Toonami block. They even showed the Mask of Light movie. That was like a big deal when it came to it, but when it came to Bionicle. But anyway, yeah, that pretty much concludes this review. I won't be going into a final verdict with this one, because I decided not to do final verdicts with these because they're old, and I definitely got to give them leeway. But if I have to give this a score based on how well it held up, it's definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. So that is a perfect 10 based on how well this one has held up over the years, knowing that a lot of Bionicle pieces, especially these ball joint connectors, are prone to breaking over the years. So yeah, about that. But anyway, that pretty much concludes it for this review. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and thank you guys all so much for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you really want to help out the channel even more, feel free to share this on your social media, like your X account or your Facebook or whatever social media you have. I mean, you don't have to, it's optional. But anyway, like I said, thanks for watching, and as always, love you all. Stay safe, take care, God bless, stay positive, stay powered up, and peace out.